Hello, everybody. I just want to take a moment and thank everyone for all the support. I've received a lot of supportive messages lately saying nice things and encouraging things, and I just want to say thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. And also, if you or someone you know would like to be in the podcast, definitely send me a message at Mattys Mental Health page on Facebook, and we can make that happen for sure. Today, we have Connor Murphy on. Connor Murphy is one of my good friends, and it turns out to be a really good conversation about life and all his experiences. But I hope you enjoy. Welcome to Mattys Mental Health Podcast, aiming to spread awareness on mental health by sharing the real-life stories of those who've experienced it firsthand. Connor Murphy is here. The one, the only Connor Murphy, born and raised.
Thanks for having me here, man. It's really nice to be here.
It's good to see you, man.
It's cool coming back here after, it's been a while.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've been in the Casa de la Burke.
Yes, it has been a while. So, Prince Edward Island, born and raised. You are?
Born and bred, baby.
Born and bred. That is also where this podcast is born and bred. And how you doing, man? It's good to see you.
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me on once again. It's things have been good. Yeah, life has been pretty tight recently, and I thought it would be cool to come on and have a little chat with you and talk to your listeners about my story and what kind of happened and how I've been feeling significantly better in the recent past. So, thanks for having me.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. It's good to hear that you're feeling better.
Yeah, dog. It was like it's a long road for sure, but when you get there, you feel it 100%. Like it probably all started back when Ben died. For people who don't know, Ben was a good buddy of ours who passed away in 2015 due to osteosarcoma, bone cancer in his knee or in his lower femur. And he had about a month to live after he got diagnosed, and he passed away in September 19th, 2015. And after that, it was like a pretty steep downward slope for me, really. Like there was a lot to process, and I just really wasn't equipped with the coping skills to really do anything about it back then. But yeah, I'm here. I'm glad to be here to talk about how I turned it around.
Yeah, it was terrible, man, when Ben died. We were all good friends with him, and like you said, he died of cancer. So yeah, do you want to just talk more about that, like grieving with his death, and
yeah, totally.
How it affected you?
Might as well start with the shitty part, and then we're just going all the way up from there. So
yeah,
we'll start at the basement, and yeah, it was just a really hard time, and the only thing that really got me through it at the time was having such an awesome group of buddies, yourself included, who really relied on each other to get through such a hard time. But after a while, like after the initial shock kind of wore out, I just really felt myself fall into like a hazy like mindset where like every day was just another day, and you'd wake up, go to school or whatever I was doing, and go home, and it would be like every day just felt like the last. Like it was just the same, and like you never had anything to look forward to. Even like big things, you just kind of be like numbed to the happy feelings.
Right. So that started after he died?
Yeah, pretty much. Like I always had a little bit of struggle with, I don't know if it was just anxiety or something, probably throughout like most of even like my teenage life, but I always did okay with coping with it. Like I think I developed enough skills, like personality wise and stuff, to always feel okay with what was going on.
Yeah.
But then whenever it was like just a shock of after that event really set me into just a total funk.
So, didn't really realize it affected you that much, and I don't mean that in a bad way towards Ben or anything like that. Like I just, I didn't realize. It's so weird, man. Like he was such a good guy.
Yeah, and I think it was just because I didn't. It's just a fucking surprise. Like you're 19 years old, and then your best friend dies, and you're like, "What?
Yeah.
I wasn't told that this was gonna happen."
Yeah.
So it catches you by surprise,
100%.
and then you're just like, what the fuck? Like I thought I was gonna, just go through uni, and then you get out, just have the classic life,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not an event in the classic, North American life generally.
Yeah.
But yeah, man.
So you weren't really equipped for like the grieving.
Yeah, I just did
heavy grieving.
Yeah, I'd never really lost anybody before, so that was the first time where like he was one of my best buds. So it was like going from being like looking forward for Ben coming back from planting trees that summer.
Yeah.
And then just to being like Ben's gone was just like couldn't really comprehend it.
Yeah.
And then I think that was just like what shocked my brain into this negative, like just lazy aspect and point of my life.
Yeah, the worst by far for me was when my girlfriend took her own life. That was like the motivation for doing this, and if people listened before, they might have heard me talk about it, but my girlfriend took her own life, and like what you're talking about, like the grieving, I might not have been as close to you as to Ben, but it almost feels like, I can't even explain it. It's like a wave. It's like you feel like you're in a dream.
Yeah, 100%. It's like hazy, and you don't like remember things. Yeah. Like I don't remember a whole lot from like that year. I pretty much lost like a year of just like going to school, doing very mediocrely, passing barely, and like getting drunk with the boys because like that was the thing. Yeah. Because we were all kind of in the same thing, and we had this like brotherhood together. Yeah. Where like the one thing we do was get together on the weekend and get absolutely tanked. Yeah. Which definitely didn't help, because if you're getting drunk 2 or 3 times a week, it's not sick for your mental health at all. No. So that definitely helped to decrease my productivity and livelihood. Yeah. And 100%. I was never like a suicidal depressive, but it was more like lazy. Like I could fucking spend all day in bed. Yeah. Just not giving a fuck. Just laying there, not even doing anything, watching Netflix. Just that lazy life. Yeah.
So you say that lasted like around...
Probably around a year, man. Yeah. I think that's when I went to a doctor. And my family doctor, luckily, it was unreal. And it took me a while to get on the right antidepressants. I think I went through like 3 different ones before... This is the 3rd one. I'm still on it. And that finally kind of clicked. But like, it's a long time, man, because you have to be on those SSRIs for like 2 months to see if they're going to do anything. So it's like 2 times 3. It was like between 4 and 5 months before I started feeling better after the year.
After the year. So, what's that process like? Like when you go to the doctor, what kind of questions do they ask you?
I was just so bad. Like, I was just like, okay, I can't be doing this anymore. There's something fucked in my brain chemistry. Yeah. And, like, we need to do a system reboot because I'm trying to do better, but it just doesn't work. Yeah. And so I went to my family doctor, and he was super understanding. I told him the situation and how I've been feeling really low since Ben died. And he said, yeah, we got to get you on something. Just started with low doses and recommended therapy as well, but I ain't about that in life, so just did strictly on the meds and kind of regulated myself, and that was the beginning, man, for sure. The beginning, the new beginning, brother.
New beginning, brother.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and even then, like, I didn't feel good for a long time.
Yeah.
But it was the beginning. Like, I was starting to get more energy back.
Yeah.
I was less stressful in social situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it started to feel like I just felt little hints of who I wanted me to be coming back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I think once I felt those little instincts coming back to be myself, that's when I could kind of start to change my behavior and try to get back to where I want to be.
Yeah. It's like who you want to be too.
Yeah.
It's like becoming yourself.
Yeah. Totally, man.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really interesting, man. Like everything that you just said, I'm like going through right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good, man. At least you're starting to feel the first little footsteps, man. It's tough, but also really empowering because you're like, let's go. Yeah, I'm starting to feel okay.
Yeah, there's a big momentum swing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm feeling good.
That's
like,
it.
This is like finally started to be myself.
Yeah. And the big thing for me was like I gained probably fucking 40 pounds-ish just from being a lazy bastard.
Yeah.
And not doing anything. I wasn't going to the gym and I'd just eat like shit, which is also bad for you. Yeah. So I had like the trifecta going on. I was like mentally feeling like shit, physically feeling like shit.
Yeah.
I don't know what the third one was for making the trifecta.
Not feeling yourself.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
But they all kind of like work with each other. So once you start kind of feeling okay, you could kind of... I started to adjust my diet and eating healthier. Yeah. And then you kind of feel even better. Yeah. And it's like, okay, well, this is working because when your body's happy, it tends to make your mind want to be happy as well. Yeah. So I stopped eating, like, no more processed foods, really limiting... like gluten, I find I might have like a sensitivity to, just because I feel all fucking after I eat a bunch of bread, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
And so that was like step 2, was like kind of correcting my diet, and I started to lose a bit more weight.
Yeah.
And then definitely the big number 3 was like back to a point where I was like, I felt physically capable to go and do workouts or, you know, do stuff like that.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Good for you.
Thanks, brother.
Yeah, I'm proud of you, dude.
Yeah. And like there's also, you know, unlimited amount of other factors going in here. Like I think goal setting behavior is one of the most important things you can do when you're coming back from a downswing. Yeah. Set attainable goals that you can reach every day or every week. Yeah. And just do it. Say like start with the outcome you want. Say like you want to get better at shooting threes. Yeah. So instead of just going to the 3-point line at the court and going ripping threes every day and missing 90% of them, start with fucking layups, man. Yeah. Just do littler things and then boom, that's a step towards your goal. Yeah. And you need those little steps, those littler, smaller victories before the big goal, because otherwise you'll never get there, because you're just going through this path where you don't know what the fuck's happening. You need to set those little goals for yourself. Yeah, dude, I love what you're saying, and I've really realized it in my own life in the last 3 years is like sometimes you have to like slow the fuck down and only do what you can do today. Don't worry about anything anybody else is doing. That's, man, one thing that I always say in my mind now is don't compare yourself to anybody else ever. Compare yourself to who you were yesterday. Exactly. And improve off that. Yeah. Because you can only be a better person than you were yesterday. Yeah. And I think that's a very nice thing to always keep in your head. Yeah. Is like, don't, because that's the big thing, right? You'd be like, oh, fuck, he's shooting threes every time he shoots, he gets it in. Yeah. It's like, that's him, man. Yeah. It's not you. Yeah, exactly. You got to compare yourself to you, otherwise you're never going to get anywhere. Everybody has a path to get there too. Yeah. And always embrace like who you are. Even if you're shitty at it, just be like, yeah dude. Yeah. Need some work. 100%. Yeah. I think you need to be comfortable with the fact of your insecurities and your shortcomings, as well as how good at stuff that you might be. Yeah. No, we all have things we're good at, and we all have things we don't. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Just
steering into it and being who you are.
Yeah.
Just all out in the open. I love it.
And understanding yourself. Like, I feel like a lot of people, even our age 23, don't know who the fuck they are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So it's like, you gotta sometimes... I'm like a really introspective thinker. Like, I always find myself just like after something will happen, be like, I wonder why that happened. And just kind of elaborating in that in my mind.
Yeah, me too.
So I feel like that's a great way to get to know yourself, because you really analyze what you're good at and what you're bad at, and what you need to kind of work on to make yourself a better person.
Yeah. That's awesome, man. I love everything you just said. So, therapy isn't for you? You tried that in the past?
Yeah, I did. Back in like grade 8, when I was just being a little shit, Mom was like, "You're fucking going to therapy." So I hated it and went just because I had to, and I was in grade 8, and they'd like drive me there, and I'd just go sit in a chair, and they'd be like, "So how does that make you feel?" And I'd be like, "Ah." I just hated it. I hated being guided towards my own thoughts. Like, I felt like I'd just do a way better job thinking about my own thoughts on my own. Mm-hmm. For some people, unreal. It might help them unlock some doors way quicker. But for me, I was just fucking resisting so hard. So I'm glad that other people can find help with that. But dude, it was just like definitely the most like synthetic like conversation I've ever had with somebody. Yeah. It felt. Yeah. And I hate that shit.
I love the way you said that. It's so easy to tell how much you hated it by the way you said chair. Like, sit on this chair and talk to this person.
It was not sick. But I'm really glad that I kind of made my own way.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, I think there's to each his own, man. Like, whatever helps anybody.
Do you still see a therapist or some therapy?
Yeah, I do. I've seen a counselor. I've seen her pretty consistently since my girlfriend died 3 years ago.
Nice.
I was going like every week for the longest time, and then I started going every couple of weeks, and now it's like every month or so, a month and a half. I see. For me, it was like I got really lucky too, because the person I see is really cool.
That's sick.
Like really, really cool. Like we're friends, and I just knew as soon as she died, like I have to talk to someone, and I have to like just talk about what's going on. Yeah. Because even though I know like there's just something to be said about getting it out, you know, and like
100%
getting help, like navigating through it.
Definitely. And I felt like for me, with Ben, I had those roles fulfilled just with our friends. Mm-hmm. Like we could talk about everything and still do talk about everything. Yeah. Like we were there for each other. Yeah. But definitely, if you ever go through some trauma and you need to talk about something, and there's no person to fill that role, that's where therapy can pull a big clutch for sure.
100%. Yeah, it was big for me too, and I mean, like everybody was so worried about me, so it was like just having someone that, and this goes for anything. Anything you're dealing with, just having someone that's the only reason they're there is to help you, and then you find someone also that you enjoy talking with, and then you just share, and then they help you like navigate through your thoughts and through your problems. I think it was really beneficial for me. It honestly probably saved my life. Yeah, I mean, I was in a dark spot for sure.
And it also, like, from me being your friend as a standpoint, like we were all there for you when that happened as well. Mm-hmm. But it's like I really don't think we could connect with you on that plane. No. Because we were already there on like your buddy plane. Mm-hmm. It's like you needed someone to go through the ins and outs of every feeling you had about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. 100%. It's just such a, like, I mean, when Ben died, it's like his relationship to me is the same to you, although you might have been closer friends with him than I was, but we all loved him and we're all friends with him, right? So our relationship is all friendship. But losing a significant other, is just odd because that's the connection.
Yeah, that's it right there.
That's the only one. Yeah, only two people know the connection. That's the people in the relationship. I guess. Yeah. But so it takes about like a year and a half to start looking up.
I think so, man. For me, anyways. I'm sure it changes for everybody, but it must be totally different for everybody, man. Like, it took me a year to get to a place where I was ready to admit to myself that something needed to be done, and this wasn't normal anymore. And then, another 5 whatever months trying to get on the right drugs and SSRI, and I was also having panic attacks all the time, so I was taking some Ativan for that. And I think the Ativan was a big thing, man. When you start blocking out those panic attacks, you get into a way better, like, control of yourself. Because when you're having panic attacks, it's like you're at the mercy of your own crazy brain that's just going to go wonky sometimes, and then you can't breathe. Mm-hmm. Isn't that great?
No.
So once you start conquering that, that's really when you're like, okay, I'm back in the driver's seat now, I guess, a little bit, and we can start doing things and kind of, because you're always kind of scared of things and you don't want to do certain things because they put you in a state of discomfort. But I was at a point where it's like I didn't want to go outside. So it's like, you gotta go outside. Everything else is out there.
Pretty tough to get around it.
Yeah. So instead of retreating to a cave, it was nice to be able to kind of push myself and go back to a point where it's just like, even just little baby steps, going out, walking around town, doing whatever, just getting that comfort back.
Yeah.
Getting that muscle memory of being like, okay, I'm in public. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
So the baby steps were definitely a big part of that. Just being able to slowly acclimatize myself back to being normal behavior again and being able to go and do stuff. And like not just kind of hang out all day.
I don't know why, you just make me laugh when you look at me sometimes. We joke around so much that like when we maintain eye contact for a while, you just like...
I just expect they're going to say something funny or dumb.
I just know that it's going to come eventually. So do you want to talk a little bit more about panic attacks and when that started?
Sure. Yeah, well, it was around the same time. And it was just like, it's the scariest thing ever. Until you've had a panic attack, you're like, oh, panic attack probably isn't that much of a thing. But dude, when you're like having your first panic attack, you're pretty sure you're going to die. You're like 90% sure your heart is going to explode or your brain is going to just turn to soup. Mm-hmm. And you can't, I had like just like hard respirating, like I couldn't control my breath. And my heart would be pumping away. And it's just terrifying, man. And you just kind of have to, like, I don't know what to do. You just kind of lay there and you're like, what the fuck is happening to me? Yeah. So, yeah, man. Anybody that's having panic attacks out there, the struggle is fucking real. That is a bit, the Ativan for me, anyways. Totally, like, if you feel like a panic attack onset, just being able to pump one of those bad boys, and then I was fine. Like, it just wouldn't happen. So that's when you kind of start to feel back in control, and it was good. It was nice.
What were the triggers for you?
I don't even know, dude.
Really?
Yeah. Like, they just kind of happen. Mm-hmm. I would just have random ones. Mm-hmm. Like, I'd just be chilling in my room and have one. For no reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the triggers would be, but I just started losing it.
Yeah. So, do you take the Ativan now?
No.
No?
No.
And the depression you feel better with it?
Yeah, man. I'm still on 40 milligrams of citalopram or whatever the fuck it is. But
So you think it was connected, like just everything else that was going on? It was like,
and also I think
it was all coming to like a head and like.
Yeah, but like the citalopram, I guess, is supposed to decrease panic attacks as well as depression. So.
Oh, it's connected.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. 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 I imagine. Yeah. Panic attacks do not seem fun.
Yeah. Have you ever had one?
I never had a panic attack, but I've been pretty close.
Yeah.
And I've been in. I know exactly the frame of mind. It just never really escalated that far, but I've had long periods of like.
Where you're just on edge and your muscles are all tense and shit.
For like weeks, or I don't know how long after she died, I'd just be really anxious all the time. Like my legs would be shaking.
Yeah.
And I couldn't sit still. And yeah, I just know that feeling. Like you can't control it. It was awful. I started smoking cigarettes.
Yeah, doing the darts, man.
For a couple weeks.
Trying to get that
just anything to like
that soothing action.
Calm you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was only for a couple weeks I smoked some cigarettes, but yeah, no, that's a terrible feeling.
Just can't get away from it, really. Until, for me, the medication worked. And it's very unfortunate for a lot of people that it doesn't. Mm-hmm. And that's when it gets scary. Mm-hmm. Because when you're trying to look for these lifelines, they're just not working.
Yes.
And that would be absolutely terrifying.
Well, it's scary too that it takes such a long time, because I know that time can, like 2 months, potentially, it took you 6, right? 3 times. So if you're in a bad spot, and maybe you've been having suicidal thoughts, and maybe you're, whatever the situation is, like battling addiction or substances, or like, it just can take such a long time to see the light.
Yeah,
as,
man,
as you
it's
describe it.
Almost impossible. Like, I remember when my doctor first said that, it was like, yeah, you'll have to be on these for 2 months to see if they work. And I was like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Mm-hmm. Like, 2 months feels like 8 years when you're in that mindset, man. Exactly, you're like, I can't fucking deal with this for another 2 months, man. Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know, man. I think you just gotta stay resilient. You gotta have that resilience in you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And as I said, just those behaviors before, like, that's something that people can definitely work on, irregardless if they're on medication, seeking proper medication or anything like that. Do little goal-oriented behavior, because that really does make you feel better. Mm. That's just a human brain need, man. Yeah. To see something, like something that you want to accomplish, and accomplish it. Yeah. We're really smart creatures, man. Like, humans are brilliant. And when we're in this constant state of boredom, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, when you're not, you feel like there's nothing to do. Mm-hmm. That's awful. Just an idle mind. Yeah. Because we're so smart, we need constantly something to do. Mm-hmm. And that's where I feel like you really gotta outstretch and look for some hobbies. Try new things is number one, man. Mm-hmm. Just try a bunch of different things that you've never done before, because maybe it could be your new favorite thing. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love what Michaela said. Michaela Walsh, she was the last guest on the podcast. She said, find something you like and do it every day.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah.
Because then you'll have a little bit of the day just sectioned off for doing something that you guaranteed will enjoy. Mm-hmm. Whether it be watching your favorite show, or playing guitar, shooty hoops, or anything, man. Mm-hmm. Just give it a go. Yeah. And try new stuff. You never played an instrument before? Try taking a couple piano lessons. Yeah.
It's so good for your mind.
Yes, man. And just expanding your horizons.
Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing how much it can change your perspective so quickly.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I just that happened to me, man. Like, you just kind of start grabbing onto things, hoping that you'll have a good time with it. And when something kind of connects, you're like, well, this is sick.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoy this. For me, that was traveling.
Yeah.
Like when I went to Asia last year, it was like, oh, dude, you can't beat this.
This is sick.
Yeah, this
That's
is
awesome.
unreal. So, yeah, that's just to explore new avenues in your life that you haven't been down yet.
Yeah. Yeah. I think, it's always scary to try a new thing, I think.
Just because we're scared to be bad at it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But, like, forget about that, man.
Yeah.
Who gives a fuck? No one cares. If you're bad at a thing that you just tried, you're probably gonna be.
Yeah.
But then the next time you do it, you'll probably be better.
Yeah.
Because we're fucking smart, man. We pick shit up real quick.
Yeah. Yeah, no, everyone starts somewhere.
And I think that constant self-doubting was a big part of my problem too.
Mm-hmm.
I was always...
That's the other thing too. It builds confidence, so much confidence. Trying new things, and then becoming like that process of finding something and like developing a skill. That builds so much confidence.
You feel like the man
and character
whenever you conquer a new thing.
Yeah.
And whenever you're not doing that, you feel you're just really humble because you're not really thinking about doing new stuff, man.
Yeah. It expands your horizons, and you never know who you're gonna meet, like new friends in this new activity.
So
or
sick.
And then you never know what things. Maybe you'll find a job. You'll start a business with somebody you meet, or connections, man.
Possibilities are endless, brother.
It's crazy compared to, like you said, like you would spend a lot of time when you were down in bed, and it's like there's so much life out there if you can get yourself out there and go and live it.
When you realize how much stuff is going on in the world, it's like we should never be bored ever.
Yeah.
But still, man, we get bored as hell.
Yeah.
Because we're just doing the same shit and expecting different results.
Yeah.
But when you put yourself out there and start trying new things, meeting new people, shaking hands, kissing babies, you're probably gonna have a sick time.
Yeah.
Or meet some cool people.
Yeah. I think just trying to find just healthy hobbies.
Yeah,
just
big time, man.
Anything that's not that's hurting you physically or mentally, that you can
something productive.
Yeah.
And I love those instant gratification activities, like playing guitar. You play a riff that's nice, and you're like, ooh.
Yeah. There's
or photography, man. You go snap a couple pics.
Yeah.
You're proud as fuck of those things, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Self-expression through creativity.
Yeah. Man, art.
Yeah.
I wish I was good at art.
Yeah. And even if you're not good, that's just what we were saying. Just do it. I've been doing spray paint art.
Nice.
I don't have any here, but
show me after for sure.
Yeah. And just trying things like that, it just doesn't matter if you're good. Just
give her a go.
Yeah. You never know what you might find.
Dude, I went whitewater rafting while I was in Colombia this year.
Yeah.
Whitewater rafting is now my fucking favorite thing to do.
Yeah.
It's so sick.
It looks so much fun.
It's like UV us crazy river. And you're like, I'm gonna fucking get you, river.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah. No, I love getting out in the water. I paddleboard, and I tried surfing a few times. I love that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Just I think finding avenues. It's so healthy to express yourself and physically and mentally devote some time to it. So healthy.
It's good for everything, man. Your brain, your body.
Yeah.
Just getting used to trying out new things, because the world is new things. That's all you're ever going to experience until you're dead.
Yeah.
Is doing shit that you hadn't done before.
Yeah.
If you think about it, you are this little circle inside a whole gigantic circle.
Yeah.
And you need to grow your circle, man.
Yeah.
If you want to see new shit,
you
got to do it.
Yeah. So what do you currently do for maintenance on a daily basis for mental health?
Routine.
Yeah.
Number one.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing for your brain is routine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wake up. Even if you're like, right now, I'm just waiting until my next school program starts. So, like, I could wake up at noon and wake up and just do nothing. But, like, I like to wake up earlier at like 8, go to the gym, get back, have a little lunch action, and then take my dog for a walk in the afternoon. And then by the time you know it, the day is like coming to a close. And you're like, God damn, man, that flew by.
Yeah.
Instead of just like sitting there, you know, watching flicks or playing video games, man.
Yeah.
Like, definitely allocate time for that. But don't make that, like, you need to have a routine of doing something productive every day.
Yeah.
I think that's what's kept me, like, if you're going through times where, like, if you're ever drawing EI, or if you're just kind of waiting, you don't have a job and you don't have a day planned for you, you need to plan your own day.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, you're gonna go crazy, man.
100%. Yeah.
Because that's the other thing, man. Just the idle brain. You just get bored, and then you're like, your boredom kind of consumes you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm bored.
Yeah.
And that you're like, how do I get out?
Yeah.
And it's like literally anything in the world can get you out.
Yeah.
But you're in that mindset. You're like, I am bored.
Yeah. 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 And it just seems like there's nothing. Yeah. It's crazy because, how different a day can be, like, and how healthy and fun you can make your day compared to like how shitty you can make your day.
Just with like a couple of actions, man.
Yeah.
Just with like, you can have a sick day compared to just like chilling at home.
Yeah.
Which chilling at home is cool.
Yeah.
But normally chilling at home is the coolest whenever you've had like a busy week of doing stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Chilling at home when you're chilling at home all week, shitty.
Yeah.
Not good.
No. Do you know who Jocko Williams is?
No, I don't.
He has his own podcast, ex-Navy SEAL. But anyway, I love, one quote from him that I love is, discipline will set you free. Or you'll find freedom in discipline.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's true, man.
So, like, sitting down and watching TV, watching Netflix, if that's all you've been doing all day, you're going to be sitting there, like, depressed. But if you've, like did everything you want to accomplish in that day, and you sit down and watch Netflix,
fucking earned that Netflix.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you feel really good about like, sitting there and like, oh, like I like the show. This is good, and like.
But that's the thing. It's
all that
so easy.
Like, of what I should have did this today. Should have did this today. That's just stewing in your head.
And it's so easy just to be a blob and chill.
Yeah, it is.
But like with those little extra couple steps of effort, you can make your day exponentially more rewarding.
Yeah. Well, this has been a really good talk, man. Thanks for coming here and doing
Thanks
this.
for having me over, man. I just want to talk about like one more thing.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's that when you kind of overcome these problems, like depression and anxiety and stuff, you are ultimately a way better person than you were before. Mm-hmm. Like you have a depth to your character. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of people still don't have our age.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you.
You're a strong and resilient person after you beat it, man. Mm-hmm. You get away with that shit. It's awesome. It's a freeing mindset when you're like, now I feel like I can do fucking anything, man.
Mm-hmm. No, it's a huge confidence builder.
The sky's the limit, man.
Yeah. Whatever you apply yourself to,
you
can do it.
One step at a time.
Yeah. And that applies to anyone.
One foot in front of the other.
Yeah. Even if you're not dealing with mental health issues or trauma or whatever, just everything we just talked about applies to anyone, you know?
Yeah.
Just, apply yourself.
And for different stuff too, man. Like not even...
healthy habits.
Yeah. And just that mentality of being a grinder and being like, I don't care how hard it is, I'm going to see the end of it. Mm-hmm. When we were down in Colombia this year, we did a 4-day trek through the fucking jungle.
That's awesome.
It was, 31 kilometers in to the Lost City. That's the name of the trek, the Lost City. 31 kilometers in and then 31 kilometers out in 4 days. And you sleep in these bunks and like most days you're walking like maybe average 20 kilometers, like up and down these crazy inclines and declines. You go over and down, I think 3 mountains. And like, that was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, physically. Mm-hmm. I thought I was going to die the whole time. At the end of day 1, I was like, fuck. Like, I'm not that fit. I went with 2 guys who were like fit. Yeah. And like, they were just slamming it out. And I looked like a fucking Gatorade commercial the whole time. Yeah. I was so sweaty. Yeah. But like, now that I fucking did that, mm-hmm. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Yeah. And I have this mental metal mm-hmm. in my brain being like, you did it, dude. Yeah. Nice. Yeah. And that is the most rewarding thing in the world. Having those little banners inside your brain being like, you did it, dude. Yeah, congratulations.
Yeah. And it verifies that you can do it in the future.
Yeah. And when you start doing stuff like that, that's when your confidence really picks up. Mm-hmm. And you'll be like, well, fuck it, man. I can do anything. Yeah. Bring it.
Yeah. Yeah, you think I can't?
Yeah.
You think I can do it?
Oh. You think I can't? Well, how about you just watch?
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it's been a great time, Matty, old boy. And I hope that some people listen to this and maybe find a couple words of, they'll enjoy what we talked about, or kind of can relate in a way and see a bit more of a light, because I've always been a big mental health advocate through anybody who wants to talk to it with me. But this is an awesome next step to reaching so many people, and I really appreciate what you're doing here, brother.
Thanks a lot, man. I really appreciate it. Thanks for coming.